there was a devotee, I mean, he's still there, I'm sorry, by the name of Ranjit Bahadur Singh. He worked at SHAR, Sriharikota Space Center. Okay. There is a space station at Sriharikota. You all know that there is a launching pad from where rockets are launched by the Indian Space Mission there at Sriharikota. So this person by the name of Ranjit Bahadur Singh, he was an engineer and he worked for the space agency, okay? And he learned about Swamiji and he became a devotee of Swamiji. And he used to come to the Bangalore ashram to have darshan of Swamiji, like twice or thrice in a year. He used to come and stay at the ashram. So then, there it seems all the people who worked at the SHAR center, that is the rocket launching center at Sriharikota, they somehow came to know that there is a Shivalingam which is buried in the sand on the beach. So it is actually submerged in the seawater. Okay, so the lingam is there. Now, it was known from a very long time by the locals. So the locals are actually either fishermen or tribals who lived in the forest and hunted in the forest for ages. Okay. Now they knew that there was a Shivalingam there in the sea, submerged in the water, buried in the sand. Okay. So they told these people, I mean the officers or the employees of the Indian Space Mission, ISRO, that there is a Shivalingam there. So it seems probably they tried to move it or lift it, they couldn't do anything about it. Okay. So finally what they did was they approached the Shankaracharya of Kanchi Kamakoti by the name of Jayendra Saraswati. Okay. I mean, who just passed away recently, I think a couple of years ago. Okay, so they approached him and it seems he came over there and under his supervision, the local devotees and the employees of SHAR, ISRO, they tried to pull the lingam out of the sand, out of the seashore. Okay. So I am told that, they brought some cranes and tractors and all that. So this is what RB Singh, Ranjit Bahadur Singh, who is a devotee of Swamiji, he told me the story. Okay. So they brought some chains and ropes and all that, and then they put it around the lingam and they tried to pull it out of the sand. Okay. But what happened is the Panavattam of the Shivalingam, that is the stone structure on which the water flows after it is poured on the lingam, right? So that flows on the Panavattam and then falls down. Okay. So that Panavattam broke away. When they put the chains and tried to drag it out of the sand, the Panavattam broke. Okay. Now, they were very scared because of that. They thought, they could incur the wrath of Lord Shiva because the Panavattam had broken, and so they abandoned the exercise. They tried, but they dropped it. They didn't want to continue the effort. So that is when RB Singh, that is Ranjit Bahadur Singh, approached Swamiji at Bangalore and talked to Swamiji, saying that Swamiji, we found a Shivalingam there on Sriharikota, which is actually an island off the east coast of India, okay, near Nellore. Okay, so it seems Swamiji immediately told him, yes, I know there is a Shivalingam there. It is buried in the sand, in the sea, on the beach, on the seashore. Okay, and that was a Shivalingam that was worshipped by Arjuna. Arjuna amongst the Pandavas, right? So Swamiji told him all this. And then that, RB Singh, who was an engineer there, he worked as the safety engineer in Sriharikota. So he requested Swamiji, Swamiji, we wanted to take that lingam out. And so we called the Shankaracharya, and under his supervision, we tried to drag it out. But then the Panapattam had broken away, so we were afraid, and so we didn't want to pursue it further. Then Swamiji said, okay, if you want to bring it out and install it, then Swamiji will come there. Swamiji will come to Sriharikota, and in the presence of Swamiji, you can remove the Shivalingam from the sea, from the seashore. Okay. So then he agreed, and then Swamiji was called over there. Now, so there was some politics there. No, I mean, the head of the Sriharikota who was there, I mean, he didn't want Shivabala Yogi to come there and do that. So there was some politics which I am not very clear about. So nothing happened. It just continued for a while. In the meanwhile, what happened was, there was a devotee of Swamiji by the name of K.P. Pandey, who was an IAS officer, Indian Administrative Service officer. Okay. He got a posting in Sriharikota. So he became the administrative head of the Shar Center. Okay. Now, taking this opportunity, RB Singh again approached the head of the Shar Center now, who is now a devotee of Swamiji. And then he said, Swamiji has agreed to come here and take out the Shivalingam, but I could not do it until now. So now that you are the head of Shar, shall we plan this event? Shall we bring Swamiji here to take out the Shivalingam? He said, yes, why not? Let's do it. Okay. So then what happened was they invited Swamiji over there. And fortunately, I was working in a company called ITI Limited, Indian Telephone Industries Limited. I was on duty at Chennai. And so when I learned that Swamiji is going there, I mean, so Swamiji would go to Chennai, and then from there he would travel by car to Sriharikota. Okay. So I came to know that Swamiji is coming to Chennai. So I was actually working near Chennai at a place called Vellore. It's quite famous for the heart hospital, right? Cardiac hospital, cardiac surgery and all that. So from Vellore, I went to Chennai. I joined Swamiji and his whole troop of devotees there, and we all traveled to Sriharikota. So as soon as we arrived there, I think within a few minutes or within a few hours, just an hour, Swamiji said, let us go to the seashore. So we all went to the shore, the beach where the Shivalingam was there. Okay. Then RB Singh had kept a tractor ready and a crane ready, because he didn't know what help would be required. So Swamiji had come, so he arranged for some things there. Okay. And Swamiji simply went there. I mean, his car went to the extent where it can go. And after that, Swamiji got off the car and he started walking into the sea. So we all undressed, and then we also went into the sea along with Swamiji. So he went near, and then he just touched the lingam. He just touched the Shivalingam with his left hand. And Kodandam was there. Kodandam is a devotee of Swamiji, a very long time devotee of Swamiji, about the same age as Swamiji. Okay, so he asked Kodandam to check how the lingam is. So Kodandam went further, and then he dived down into the, I mean, he just went down to the shore and checked up how the lingam was. So the lingam was standing in the sand. Okay. Then Swamiji touched the lingam, and then we broke a coconut, and Swamiji said, you move the lingam. That's all. So then, I mean, let me show it. I have actually seen it with my own eyes. Okay. Kodandam went there. He held the lingam by his hand and he started shaking it. It was shaking. Okay, so it was not set in concrete or anything like that. It was just a free lingam made of rock. And when he started moving it, it shook. It just moved. So we thought that it's not fixed anywhere. Then he simply heaved the lingam a little, and then he pushed it down And so it just, I mean, the lingam which was standing like this, it just fell down on the seashore like this. Then we all went and we all touched it. Okay, now this lingam is interesting. And they say all ancient lingams, Shiva lingams, are made like this. See, normally today when you go to the temple and see a Shiva lingam, what you see is the Panavattam is like a vessel. No, it's a pit in a rock, and the lingam is made to sit in the pit. The lingam is like oval shaped, and it is made to sit in the pit, in the base. Okay, the base is what is called the Panavattam. But there, the lingam was different. You know, the lingam was a long rock like this, and the base was actually, it had a hole in the center. So the lingam could pass through the Panavattam like this, you know. The lingam would go from down and stand like this. So this was just the upper portion of the lingam. Then the base was there, and the lingam would be there, protruding down below the Panavattam, below the base of the Shiva lingam. This is how it was. Okay, so the lower portion of the Shiva lingam has a square section. Then above that there is a octagonal section, 8 faces. Above that there is a round lingam. Okay. So that was how it was. So it is not that the lingam is kept in the pit in the base, but the base is worn on the lingam like this. Okay, so this is an ancient lingam, and Swamiji told us that all ancient lingams are like this. Okay, then so when he heaved the lingam and then pushed it down, it went down along with the base. Okay, then we all gathered together, and then we lifted the base, we separated the lingam from the base. Okay, then we could easily, I mean, 2-3 of us could easily carry the Shiva lingam as well as the base, and then we put it on the tractor, the trolley of the tractor, and then we just rode onto the place where it had to be established. The sthapana had to be done. Okay, so it was as simple as that. So I mean, we don't know why, you know, they put chains around it, they tried to pull with a crane, and it wouldn't move. It was just in the sand, it was just lying in the sand. I had seen it with my own eyes. After Swamiji touched the Shiva lingam, Kodandam just pushed it down. It just fell down like this. It just lied down like this. Okay? And we all went, and then we all gathered, 10-15 devotees, we all gathered, and then we pulled the lingam out of the base, and then we carried the base and the lingam to the tractor, the trolley of the tractor. It was kept in the tractor, and we just drove to the place where it had to be installed. It was as simple as that. Okay? But then again, as I said, there was politics. So because they could not take out this lingam from the sea, they brought a lingam from somewhere else and they installed it in the temple that was built for this lingam. So there was no temple for this lingam. So Swamiji simply chose another place outside the temple premises where the Shiva lingam Swamiji installed with his own hands. Even now it is there. Then a small structure had been built around the lingam that was established by Swamiji. The Pran Pratishtha also was done by Swamiji. And Swamiji told us that Shiva lingam, this Shiva lingam was worshipped by Arjuna during the time of the Mahabharata. Okay? And Swamiji gave it the name of Srihari Koteshwara. See, this was the kind of naming that Swamiji used to do. The Shiva lingam that was installed at Anantapur, he named it Anantishwara. The Shiva lingam that was installed, I mean, he reconsecrated it at Sriharikota, he called it Sriharikoteshwara. The Shiva lingam which he consecrated in Italy, he called it Italishwara. Okay, so these are the names chosen by Swami. Yes, Akka is reminding me that in Sri Lanka he installed a Shiva lingam and he called it the Lankadishwara.